Here we go. I think we are now live, and we have with us Mr. Herrera from Texas. Welcome, and Boca Raton. Over here it's 7:26 in the morning. What time is it over there in Texas?
6:30, about 6:30, 6:26.
6:26. Now, we've been talking already for some time. You guys coming down here, doing the halakhic conversion here with Asher Mesa and the whole group, whole family. But I think we've got some good news for everybody in Texas that have been wanting to find a place where they can gather. As a matter of fact, I posted a little message on my Facebook pages, and they're all asking, where is this at? Where can we go? Who do we need to contact? Los Caminos is going to Texas, and Ways of Israel, it's the same thing. Los Caminos is Ways of Israel, and they're all excited. So many people have been emailing me and IMing me saying when and where and what's happening. So here we have our friend Mr. Herrera. Tell us a little bit about your plans out there in Texas. Where are you located at, and what do you have in mind?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to introduce Jeff McCullough. He's also going to be going to be going with us down to Miami.
Okay, wonderful.
And but our vision here and where we're at right now is we are starting a community here in a little town called Ace. It's about 10-15 miles from Livingston, Texas.
Okay.
We are in the middle of nowhere. We got a beautiful little area. We have two streams. And the two streams that we have is one of the big things that we have here, because with Jeff spearheading all the construction, we are actually setting up a small setting up a mikvah.
Wonderful.
Have, certified as kosher, and that way we can go ahead and do be open to whoever needs the mikvah for whatever reason. Whether it be purity or whether it be conversions. We want to try to set up a small community, a place where even that we can set up even a synagogue. That's one of the things that we're actually really looking forward to doing here. The closest synagogue that we have here is about an hour away. Setting up a synagogue here in this little gem of a place. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful with wildlife, with the trees. I mean, you walk through here and it feels like you're 100 miles from anything, and it believe it or not, it makes a big difference, in prayers and everything. Just being able to whether it be the morning prayers, or you're able to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Well, obviously that's good news, because we're going to be supporting you guys and do whatever we can to get that community raised up. I know how far are you from the border of Mexico?
So we're north of Houston. So I don't know how far are we from the border. That
from like Brownsville, I want to say we're about 4.5 hours.
About 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. Okay.
So,
But there's a lot of people in Texas. I know they've been writing to me, emailing me, and messaging me. When are you guys going to have something out here in Texas? Well, now we do. Now we do, and we're going to be working together once we get the November, the whole entire halakhic conversion. Now you currently have a conservative conversion, my understanding, and we want to make sure it's all within the line of halakhic Orthodox. So we're going to get that taken care of. And I want to welcome you aboard to the Ways of Israel, Los Caminos de Israel. I know you're going to have a lot of work in front of you after you return. And we need to also help you guys to get your sidurims, your talits. There's a lot of need for basic synagogue stuff, so we can get sent out there in Texas. And I'm sure a lot of the community rabbis that are out there that know me, like Rabbi Terenio, who is from Dallas. I don't know if you saw that video that he asked me to marry a couple from his community, and he came out here to Fontainebleau and I was fortunate enough to have the privilege to be involved in the actual wedding ceremony. It was beautiful, and I think they could be done there in Texas. And I know there may be some issues there with the Jewish community in Texas regarding conversions and what have you, but we will definitely give you all the support and make sure that people want to get at least halakhic conversions done. They can do so right there out of our central location in Texas with you guys there at the head, at the helm. And so you do have my support. You do have my blessings. And hopefully we'll see you more online, inviting the community out there to Texas to partake. And I understand you also have some plans to make sure people that want to stay over there, be able to house them and have a way to gather in people. Maybe they'll buy property out there close by you, so they'll be at walking distance. Are the properties somewhat affordable out there?
They actually are. The land, it's a, like I said, it's a very rural area. So there's a lot of land in the area. We actually have quite a few lots that we're planning on putting buildings and little homes, whether it be for rent or whether it be for even if someone just wants to come down for Sukkot or for any of the holidays, whether it be camping, whether it be whatever, we're gonna try to set up a lot of different areas, some RV spots for people to bring campers if that's what they want to do. But between the two of us, we have about 5 acres of already subdivided lots.
That is wonderful. That is so beautiful. Now, you also mentioned to me of your interest in having, since you have a farm there, be able to slaughter cattle and perhaps chickens and some other things like that, which I mentioned to you that will help you get you prepared and trained as shochet. There's a program out on the East Coast that the guy I already spoke to is willing to do it on a virtual level, and then you have to come in for at least a week of training of actual practice, which sounds to me a great idea, especially that way we can get also perhaps other shochtetim out there in Texas, get them also trained. People want to learn the trade of kosher slaughtering. That way, we have more meat available, and our hashgacha, Sephardic Kosher Supervision, which is active, and we're involved in also putting labels on food products. And in this process, we'll be more than happy to help, as well as being out there and doing shechita and what have you. We have some people from New York also, I'm sure, is very interested in helping, giving you guys a hand as well, because we need to make sure all of this grows, and we don't rely on anyone else. If they're there, wonderful, Baruch Hashem. But as you know, meat in general, kosher meat is very expensive, and the more possibility, more in the market, prices tend to go down when there's a lot of meat available from that level. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing in that area.
Okay, well, I'm a rancher by trade, so throughout my life, ever since I was real little, I've dealt with our own butchering. So we, grew up on a ranch, and we butchered our own beef. Of course, that wasn't kosher. There's a story behind that, as far as that's how I got started, as far as on this trail, anyway. But it wasn't kosher per se. So, but my knowledge, what I know how to do, I know how to raise cattle. I know how to do all as far as deal with slaughtered animals and butcher on that point. And being a convert, like you said, you see the prices of meat on one end, and then you start eating kosher, and then you see the price on the other end, and maybe to someone who grew up with it, it seems normal, but it's not. You're talking 5-10 times more than your regular meat, and that's something that I feel as an individual, that if I'm for a small community, being able to go through and buy the cattle, slaughter, and be able to slaughter on my own, and be able to produce a good quality kosher meat for people within the community at a whole lot cheaper price. And that's what I want to do. And I'm sure a lot of people understand this from a Latino and from the culture that I came from.
Right.
everything revolves around the table. When I'd go home and whatever, my grandma would sit there and the first thing she'd do, what do you want to eat? And she'd go straight into the kitchen and start cooking whatever it is, because that's how you show people the love and the caring and respect was through food.
Right. The food is always the one that captures not only us Latinos but everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
there are other good organizations make sure that when you go to shul, there's always that pot of cholent or chamim there, so that after you daven, there's the food. The food is always a magnet.
And that's what I want to do. I want to, for myself, not only the mikvah and the synagogue, everything else that's important, but something very special is for me is the food, the meat, to be able to provide. Like, I love smoking. I absolutely love smoking meat, and so to be able to sit there and provide something that's flavorful and good, and just that hearty, and be able to say, here you go, and by the way, here you can afford it as well.
Yeah, interesting enough, I talked to Rabbi Abraham Darion Cohen, who he's really my to a certain extent a good friend, a good colleague, almost like a father figure. But he was one that basically showed me the ropes in a lot of this area, and he is a shochet, and this guy number one. I mean, number one. Of course, he's now ill, and but even in his state of illness, he says, keep on going, don't stop. And one of the things he told me, he goes, we need to have what's in Israel, where, in Israel, many of the slaughterhouses, they know how to remove the sciatic nerve. We're not allowed to eat the sciatic nerve. And the tastiest part of the meat is in the rump area. Here, the Ashkenazi community have already just basically discarded all of that. But if we can get you guys trained and get some people trained to know how to remove the sciatic meat, the sciatic side of the beef, okay? A lot of the Cuban butchers down here, they know how to do it. They do exactly like they do in Israel, how they take it out the sciatic nerve. Get you trained, there's no reason why we can't have a nice, like they say down here, bistec de palomilla that's kosher. The rump meat, which is the most tastiest part of the meat. Unfortunately, you're not going to find nowadays in any kosher supermarket anything that has to do with the rump or filet mignon, unless it's under Sephardic hashkacha and butchers that know how to take out the sciatic nerve. There's nothing wrong with eating it. And this will change our industry, no doubt about it, and the whole entire way we eat meat here in Florida as well as the world. But I think this is something that needs to take place here in the United States. If the Ashkenazis don't want to eat it, that's fine. We have a lot of Latino Jews that know what bistec de palomilla is. That's that rump meat that's so tasty. And believe it or not, we need to bring back that good cooking flavor, Sephardic flavor, back into the industry. And by the way, once you're all set up there, our hashkacha could go down there also and go to companies. So this is another venue that potential revenue for companies out there in Texas that want to get their product, which is already possibly kosher, and get that seal of certificate of kosher in their products. And of course, that goes into the entire different marketplace. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, actually. So there's a lot of good things I see that could take place over there in Texas, no doubt about it. With God's help, I'm going to put you in contact with some investors. A good friend of mine down here who's in Aventura, where we were going to do something out there in Colombia regarding a slaughterhouse. The mikvah is wonderful because then we can maybe fly down there. I don't know which airport we would land at, if it's going to be Houston or since you said it's rural.
Yeah, it's rural. We're about an hour from Houston, but Houston would probably be the place where you would land at. Yeah. So
from Florida to Houston, go out there and do a group of conversions of people that want to get together, have a wonderful simcha, a big celebration, maybe even film it all together and have truly simcha, because we're all under this COVID threat, but you know what? This is such a time of joy. And, take the necessary precautions. There's a lot of things we can do to celebrate the goodness of HaShem and everything. Now, I know there are a lot of people that can be coming down with you in this first turn. We're talking about by December, it's all going to be moving forward.
Right. Well, we're actually right now we're probably looking about December to have the building in place as far as the small building that we do have.
Okay.
HASHEM willing, it won't last long as far as size, when we have more people coming in. But it's to be able to start our small little synagogue and a place of prayer, and we've already had we had our first meeting the other night, and as far as with the two families that we do have, it to set things up, we're going to set up a small little Hebrew school for our kids, because I do have a large family. I have 8 kids in the house right now, total of 10, but I have 8 kids in the house.
You have a minion just with your family.
Exactly. And they're all boys except for one little girl. So so we'll pretty soon have our own, just on our own. But and then Jeff has 2 young ladies that he has, and so we're going to set up. We're going to start doing a Hebrew school. We're going to start doing Hebrew classes. We are also talking about doing starting and trying to get some kind of curriculum together for a Ladino class.
By the way, since your English is impeccable, people need to know that you also speak a little bit of Spanish.
A little bit, like I told you before. I speak enough Spanish to get myself into trouble.
But don't worry, it will improve as you practice it. I've got a couple of sons in the same situation that they'll habla un poquito español, but good enough,
Right.
But listen, I'm so excited for you, for the community, for everything that is happening, and I feel privileged being part of what's happening in your life and everybody out there. I feel I'm so thrilled to see things happening this way.
So we're also in the process right now. We're looking at websites. We're looking, because we decided to name it the community here, Hebron Springs.
Oh, wonderful.
And LCDI, and and so we're actually going to be looking so we can start putting like pictures of the mikvahs. We're not even starting. We're about 60% done on the mikvah. As far as damming up the water, starting to go through, we're going to put it's going to come out real nice.
Do me a favor, do a little video, send it to me. I can send it to a couple of rabbis so they can go perhaps out there, take a look, and make it sure it's actually certified. Okay, everything's good. It's good to go. And this way we can start planning even as soon as you come back for preparing classes of conversions out there in Texas, and do all of these conversions out there. There's a lot of people in Texas who want to convert, but as you know, there is a wall of opposition, and so the only way to do that is to jump over the wall and move forward.
Right.
This is what we plan to do. And the idea that we have also with the kosher meat, the mikvah, the community, the school, all of these infrastructures are very important to establish a real outreach to the community and throughout the whole United States, because you have next to Texas, I think you have Arizona, New Mexico.
New Mexico, then Arizona, and then there's Colorado.
By the way, New Mexico, there's a lot of Sephardic Anusims there, a lot. I went to speak one time at Rabbi Stephen Leon's community for the annual Anusim convention that they have there, and there's a lot over there in New Mexico. So this would be a good opportunity to let the people in New Mexico know, listen, hear what we're doing in Texas, which will be a very good opportunity for you. Those also in Arizona, and of course, I think you have Oklahoma up north of you.
Oklahoma's north of us, yes.
Right, so you're very well centered in the States, so people can come down and get what they need to get, and it'll be easier for a lot of things. So I want to congratulate you, Tim, and also you, Jeff, and a lot of bracha, a lot of nachas, a lot of comfort. It's not going to be easy. You're going to get hit. You guys are going to get hit hard by the local community power players, this is what you know, but you need to remain. I'm telling you, I've been through it all. You have to have a very strong determination that what you're doing is correct, that you're connected with the correct people, and we're there for you. And when you come down here, we'll talk a little bit more. And you're now already on our administrators page. So you see what we have throughout Latin America. It's a lot of things throughout Latin America. Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Cuba, Nicaragua that just came on board. So there is a lot of things happening throughout the world, and we just need to get stronger and stronger and stronger until Mashiach comes, and just go forward. Please give our viewers your telephone number right now. What's the best number to reach you guys?
Okay, so my telephone number is going to be 505-252-9382, and my email right now, until we get everything set up with the website and stuff like that, is going to be Tim Herrera, TIMHERRERA 77 @gmail.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Repeat your phone number once again. It's 505
505-252-9382.
82. Wonderful. And we'll go ahead and post this on the video that we're going to release this on Facebook and other platforms. You'll get a copy of this. I'm posting it up on the administrator's site as well. Just give me some time to do the download and the saving of the document. But I'm excited. Ways of Israel out there in Texas, with your community. It's a wonderful thing. I'm all excited about it. And I'm sure HaShem will be all thrilled, as well as Rabbi Chaim Ovadia, who we're keeping together, and Michael Habib in Israel, and Rabbi Nisan McCoy. I mean, there's a lot of rabbis that we're bringing together into this, because we have one same heartfelt mind, and that is to be a blessing to all, help those who are proselytes coming into the fold of Israel, and strengthen them with Torah knowledge, and the basic and most important thing, which is the emunah in HaShem, faith in HaShem, basic. Tim, I want to thank you for being with us here early in the morning. What time is it out there?
Do what?
What time is it out there?
It is about 6:50 right now.
6:50. So you woke up. I woke you up a little bit earlier then. Over here it's 7:49. Well, blessings to you and your family, and welcome to the Ways of Israel, Los Caminos Israel. I got to get you the papers out there so we get that all organized and set in stone, as it were, and move this thing forward. I'll be in touch with you regarding some of the investors. I got to speak with him, see if he's interested of helping set up. I'm sure some of the investors' money can help get this kicked, up and moving. Maybe I'll organize when you're down here a quick meeting with him so he can get on board on this, and that way we can get things moving. All right.
Sounds great. That sounds great, Rabbi. Thank you so much.
No problem. Final words to the audience. What would you want to say to them right now that are watching in Texas area?
We are starting up, but this is something we feel very passionate about. And even if you just want to come over and just look at it, want to help out, grab a shovel and help us with the mikvah or whatever, anything is welcome. We'll feed you. We'll make sure that you're going to really enjoy it here. It is absolutely beautiful, and we'll be posting pictures hopefully here soon.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Tim and Jeff. And I know you guys have a heart for God, which is the most important part here. Without fear of God, there's no way we can move forward. And with that fear and love of God, any obstacles is easy to jump over. I want to thank you, and you guys have a wonderful day. And we will still be in contact on a regular basis through our admin pages and our direct contact. Thank you. Look forward to meeting you when you guys come down here.
Looking forward to meeting you too, rabbis.
All righty. Blessings to you both and to the family. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.